Hi, welcome to Adventures in Bonsai. Today we're going to talk about leaves that are turning yellow on your plants. Let's go take a look. But first we're going to just take a look at something else. This was a plant, I think it's a fig tree of some kind, that was on its side. It was 90 degrees tilted this way, but it needed to be repotted and replanted. So I took it out and I stood it upright, and it gives it a beautiful, interesting trunk here. And you'll see the leaves are turned facing to the left here, because that was upright before. That was the upside. But anyway, so you can do that. You can have a tree that's starting on one direction and just change it around completely and get a really interesting little plant. This looks pretty good, and one of these days I'll probably put some moss on here and really make it shape up. I was looking around and I saw this. Looks like another fig tree, some kind of ficus. I noticed all the yellow leaves, so we're going to take a look and see if we can figure out what's going on and what you can do for your plants when you see leaves that yellow. So here we have the plant with the yellowing leaves. Like I said, it looks like a ficus. It's got all these nice adventitious roots, these aerial roots that you'll see these little parts that are, every once in a while you'll see one of these start out. If you just stick it in the ground, usually it'll grow into one of these. But it does have a fair amount of yellowing leaves. So let's take a look and see how we can try to evaluate this plant and what to do about it. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is take it out, which is why this method is so nice, because it's so easy to take it out and see what's going on. Well, this plant has been repotted not too long ago. There's a growth ring around the outside here, but it's not overly grown, and it's not too bad. I hope you can see that. Here's the ring around here. And the plant itself is pretty good. It's got some artillery fern in here, which I like to try and get rid of while I can. It'll always be starting up again, though, as we've discussed. But the question is, what's causing the yellowing roots? Well, it could be that it hasn't gotten enough water recently, and that may have caused it. So I'm not going to worry about it too much because this looks fairly good. I'm going to throw a little extra pad in here, though, of sphagnum moss. Just a little pad here. Put it in here. Give it some new stuff to grow into in case that's the problem. So now, it's a little wobbly in the pot. So because it's wobbling around, I'm going to put some stuff in here and try to take the wobble out of it, because you don't want it to have these air spaces in there if possible. And what you should do is take the stuff and try to put it all the way down. But the good thing is that once you get it down on one side, it's pushing the plant into the other side, so you don't have to do it all around. Okay? So there we go. Now that's in there pretty good. I still see some artillery fern I'd like to get rid of. Well, let's take a look at the leaves here. A lot of times the leaves will just come off in your hands. They're ready to go. This could be just because the leaves are old. That's another reason leaves turn color. They've outlived their life cycle as a chemical factory, which is what they are. They're producing sugars and helping change carbon dioxide into oxygen. And they're doing all kinds of stuff, and they get tired eventually, and they say, well, time for a new leaf to take over. I'm going to make room for a smaller leaf. You'll see ones that are kind of turning here, like this one here. I don't know if you can see it or not, but that's going to go soon, so I'll get rid of that. And here's another one that's got a yellow spot on it that's starting, so why not get rid of it? Okay, now the other thing is I'd like to make this plant a little bushier. Have some more growth. So what I'm going to do is, let's see if we can get a nice close-up of it. Okay, so what I'm looking at is this leaf here. There's a new leaf ready to come out. But if I cut this here, instead of having one leaf come out and be an extension of these branches, I should get a splitting up of the branch, sometimes into 3s, sometimes into 4s, but usually 2s, and it helps. Let's see if we can get this one here. Like, here's another one. Okay, and so likewise, you just go around the plant and you find these terminal buds, the buds at the ends, which are ready to grow into new ones, and clip them off. If you can just clip them off, that's good. If you have to clip the leaf off too, that's okay. Some of these I'll do clipping the leaf off, and some I'll do just clipping the terminal bud off. And sometimes if you don't clip the terminal bud that far, that'll make it go into 4s rather than 2s. Okay, so that's it on this plant. Simple. Let's take a look at it overall though. Let's see what's going on a little bit better with it. Okay, well I think if we get, I'm going to leave it alone. I do see a leaf here growing in the wrong direction. I don't want it to kind of grow outwards rather than inwards. And I see a couple of other little spots of branches that are not growing that appear to be dead. So I'm getting rid of them. Here's a little leaf down here. I just don't like it. Get rid of it. Okay. This is a big one. Looks like it's ready to go soon. It's got a terminal bud on. I'm going to cut this off. Okay, and you'll see that there's a white milky substance coming out. Very common in ficus. Very irritating to your eyes, your skin. Be careful. Try not to touch it. Try not to get it near any of your organs, like your mouth, your ears, your eyes. And wash your implements off after you're done using it to get the residues off. Okay, so that's it for today. Take a look for yellow leaves, and hope it was entertaining for you and also educational. Have fun with your bonsai. And as an extra note, when you cut the tips of these branches off, you will get increased growth along the branch and also at the end of the branch, where it usually will split up and divide and become bushier and in essence more healthy for the plant. What happens is the plant tries to reach upwards as high as it can to get to the most sunlight, and there's a hormone in the tip of it that prevents growth along the shaft of the branch, because that would take energy away from the tip that's trying to grow towards the sunlight. So when you cut that off, by that hormone not being there, the branch starts to expand outwards laterally with new growth, and likewise at the tip where you cut it off, it tends to also try to grow a lot of new growth. So that's why that happens, in case you're wondering. Okay, have fun with your bonsai.